Ahora sigo con el uso de la palabra, pero ahora cambié el rol. Como les comentábamos, tuvimos que alterar un poco la presentación. ¿Sí? Ahora estamos viendo de conectarnos con Bernd Treichel, senior experto en prevención y salud en el trabajo de la Asociación Internacional de Seguridad y Salud Ocupacional. Bernd lleva 20 años trabajando a nivel internacional en el campo de la prevención. Es abogado, tiene su título en Derecho. Se incorporó a la Oficina Internacional del Trabajo como experto en inspección del trabajo, antes de pasar al Consejo de los Estados del Mar Báltico y luego a la Asociación Internacional sobre Salud y Seguridad en el Trabajo. Como experto, Bernd hoy nos acompaña en representación de dicha organización. La presentación va a estar materializada o se va a llevar adelante en inglés, por lo cual nos va a acompañar un traductor que ya está en condiciones de traducir. Yo no estoy viendo a Bernd, pero no sé si ya debe estar conectado y pronto para iniciar la presentación. Además, recomendarles, si ustedes van a ver en su plataforma, que al pie de la misma van a poder verificar un mundo donde si cliquean van a poder optar por el idioma de la presentación, tanto para el retorno suyo y escuchar únicamente la traducción en español, como bloquear, si así lo desean, las expresiones en inglés de Bernd. Adelante, Bernd. Gracias.
Gracias, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to present the activities of the International Social Security Association here at your important Congress. We are basically an association that deals with all kinds of social security aspects. So we have pensions, we have family benefits, and cut a long story short, we also have prevention. We were created by the ILO in 1927 because the tripartite model of the ILO did not really foresee a role for social security. So therefore we got created as an independent association of the International Labour Organization, and our role is to represent social security organizations worldwide. We have about 320 members. Right now it's 321. And basically all these members come together to discuss and to develop new ideas in social security, and that also includes prevention. We have a couple of regional structures. These are focal points and liaison offices which are spread all over the world. So there are activities happening in every continent, more or less every month. And many of our members are supporting these offices and create more like local networks to make sure that the topic of social security is well represented and is not being put away from the agenda so easily. Because social security also means safety and health, it means safety of income, it means a pension, it means health, it means many, many things that we need as human beings in a modern day, in a modern world. As an international organization, of course, we partner with others. The ILO is our key partner, but we have also the European Commission, OECD, the International Commission on Occupational Health, which is called ICO, and the World Health Organization, just to mention a few. As I mentioned, we cover various branches of social security: pensions, medical, accidents, occupational accidents, employment, unemployment, family benefits. And then we also have like a lot of financial and managerial aspects, because every social security organization needs to look what happens with their finances, especially in times of crisis. it seems that the world keeps on going from one crisis to another. So how do pension funds invest their money so that a sustainable investment is ensured? So all of this is also being discussed. But I don't want to bore you too much with the general aspects. This here is a slide from the Special Commission on Prevention. This Special Commission has 14 subsections, and there is also one on construction. And these sections work very hard to promote their area of economic activity all over the world. So the construction section, for example, just recently organized a major event in India. The mining section had projects in Turkey. The education and trade section has developed a fantastic training program. And so all these with these sections, we're trying to cover the most important areas of economic activity in the world of work to prevent accidents and occupational diseases. This is just a picture of one of our training workshops. It's very international. We had participants from Malaysia, also from Latin America, from India, Europe. So it's usually a very dynamic environment. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we cannot meet physically so much anymore, but the discussions continue to go on via Zoom and other video tools. ISSA has developed different guidelines. We are, unlike the ILO, we cannot adopt a convention. So there is no convention number 155 on occupational safety and health, for example, but we have guidelines for Social Security, how to manage their business. And the 3 prevention guidelines that are relevant for you or for me are prevention of occupational risks, workplace health promotion, and return to work. We consider these 3 aspects the aspects of prevention. So prevention in the broader sense, not only to prevent an accident from happening, but also to prevent whatever happens after the accident. And that is, in the case of disability, for example, then a long-term disability early pension for a person who might just be 30 years of age. So of course, we try to do everything possible to avoid the accident, but then we also try everything possible to bring people back into working life by providing vocational training, medical rehabilitation, and accompanying them. We don't do that per se, because as an international organization, we don't have the access directly to a worker, let's say, somewhere in the Philippines. But our members in the Philippines would do that, and so we help them design the right programs to make that happen. One of the most important programs that the ISSA has ever launched is called Vision Zero. This was developed by the Special Commission on Prevention and is an answer to the current challenges in occupational safety and health. So you see on the slide, it says Vision Zero, okay. Vision Zero, why? And I have heard from the previous speakers, you have quoted the ILO quite often, and I'm not sure if you had mentioned already these figures, but there are way too many people that die every year of accidents and diseases. And that is almost 4% of the global gross domestic product that is lost. The majority are not the accidents, the majority are the occupational diseases. And now, during COVID, many social security institutions or worker compensation boards or mutuals have accepted that a worker who works in a hospital, who works with patients, and who gets COVID is automatically insured because his disease is recognized as an occupational disease. So that has certain advantages because that means they are covered by Social Security and any loss of income would then be compensated. Usually, if you have an occupational disease, you need to provide a causal link. That means you need to prove that the disease that you contracted it at the workplace and it is related to your work. But with COVID, many Social Security organizations have actually decided to drop that requirement just to kind of help people to be better protected. So coming back to Vision Zero, what is Vision Zero? We have this model where we say safety and health at work is actually more than only occupational safety and health. It also includes an aspect of well-being, even though well-being is extremely difficult to measure because well-being at work and well-being at home, it always depends on the individual. If you're not happy with your family life, you might not be happy at work, but at the workplace doesn't have any faults, but still you're not happy. And then you have occupational, not diseases, but let's say you have backache, for example, that can be caused by an occupational move because you always have to lift heavy weights. But backache is also, it can have psychosocial sources, which means it can be linked to your general well-being or because you're not happy in your general life. So there is a crossing between what a workplace can do and what home can do for you and what you do in your leisure time. So that's why we try to include well-being. But the key message of Vision Zero is that we say that every accident and occupational disease can be prevented. We don't say, because zero is not a target. We don't say that, we can achieve zero accidents in the whole world by tomorrow. No, we say this should be the vision and we're working towards it. It's a process rather than a target. And you can also see it in this way. If you go to work and you come home in the evening, you have achieved Vision Zero for today because you did not come home with an accident. And the other charm of this campaign and this strategy is that we try to make it a transformational approach. Something where everybody can say, yes, I can identify with this approach and I believe in this philosophy. And like this, we try to create a culture of prevention. I'll try to be a little bit more concrete now so that you understand what I'm talking about. We have this guide, which is called the 7 Golden Rules. It is also available in Spanish and it's available free of charge on our website. You can download it and you can work with it. It's a questionnaire where we ask an employer, how are things in your company? Is there a right safety and health management system? Is there a participatory approach? Is there leadership for safety and health? So is the CEO actually showing a good example and taking it seriously? And then there is, for each of these principles, there is a set of questions that you can just answer. And like this, you can improve your performance because it is made very clear and visible what is lacking in that work environment. And at the same time, you can convert it. You can use it as a company tool. You can also use it as a government tool to develop national strategies. This has happened. Singapore, for example, has developed a strategy. Malaysia has developed a strategy based on this Vision Zero. And you can also use it in cities. The city of Milan in Italy has declared themselves as a Vision Zero city because they want to reduce their accidents. And the city of the mayor of New York has also declared New York as a Vision Zero city, but not for accidents. And it was not linked to our campaign, but for crime. So this idea of zero is really circulating everywhere. And I think it is a right approach because we should try to do better than where we are. There are still, statistics are still showing us that we have a long way to go. So what are these 7 golden rules? Take leadership. That means that the CEO should really promote and live safety and health and lead by example. Then identify hazards. That is the simple risk assessment that every company of a sufficient size would probably already have in place or should have in place. But there are always hazards that have not been identified. Number 3 is to define targets, to say, all right, look, I mean, in the last year we had 2 serious accidents. Next year we want to have 0. And then number 4 is a safe and healthy system that is all linked to the internal organization of the workflow, and also again avoiding risk, avoiding confusion, avoiding anything that could distract you from being protected. Then number 5 is also a standard. It's machines and system safety. Number 6 is now something for the employees, that is to improve qualification, to improve understanding and knowledge about safety and health, and to develop competence. Last but not least, a good employer, in our view, would also invest in their workers, would motivate, and this motivation is actually key to put everything into practice, because it means that people will actually do it. It's not only that they will follow a rule by law, but that they start believing in a process of safety and health where they look after themselves and also after their colleagues. Just a couple of interesting facts. We launched Vision Zero at the World Congress in Singapore in 2017. And then we had many regional launches following. There was an Asia launch in Thailand, there was a European launch, and so on and so forth. So we have actually covered the world. There's also another one, which is the Australian launch, which is not there. But we have covered all continents, and we have partners in all these continents who continue working with this tool and spreading the idea. After 1 year, we had about 2,500 companies and organizations that had joined this idea of Vision Zero, who said, yes, it's a good project, it's a good program, and we as a company, we are part of that. Or we as a social security organization or labor inspectorate, we are also part of that, and we use it. And we go into our companies and we talk to them, or we use it as a national campaign, as Singapore has done. There are also trainers. We have launched a network of occupational safety and health trainers that will train the idea of Vision Zero to companies. So this is on a fees basis, and we don't earn anything. The trainer earns everything. So we provide them with the free training materials, and it's just for us to have multiplicators to spread this idea. Now, after, like the previous slide was the campaign, how it was after 1 year, almost 2,500, and we were very proud. But today, 3 years later, 4 years later, sorry, 3.5, We have 15,000 supporters of Vision Zero, and this is all beyond expectations. We have many, many companies that have joined. And we have companies, for example, I mean, these are just the big ones, from L'Oreal to Google to Nike, Shell, Siemens, 3M, Coca-Cola, and then we have like probably the biggest partners in the world of occupational safety and health at international level. And then another interesting thing is we have ambassadors. So we have, for example, sports people, we have cosmonauts, we have astronauts who have actually promoted Vision Zero and said it's a good thing. In sports, you know, we also don't want to have an accident, or in space, if there is one mistake made, that's it. So yeah, these are just more or less prominent people who have helped us spread this campaign. Now this slide here is quite interesting because it shows the different mindset, the paradigm shift that we have tried to present and promote. The traditional OSH approaches on the left side compared to Vision Zero on the right side. And in a traditional occupational safety and health environment, you have a strategy to control the risk. And in our Vision Zero environment, we have a strategy of commitment. So it's not that we control anything, but we're trying to get everybody on board to do it themselves. No need to control, but need to participate. In the traditional OSH approach, it is goal-driven. They want to set goals and say, all right, less accidents. Here, we also have that vision of fewer accidents, but we say it's a process. You cannot just achieve it from one day to the next, but you know, you change your mindset slowly and you improve it and you say, yes, we want, and eventually it will happen because everybody is taking part in this process and everybody is contributing to a healthier and safer work environment. So it is an investment. We look for solutions and we look for good practices, not that much to regulate, not that much to control, and not that much to make sure that only a couple of people will have the say. But you know, this paradigm shift is that everyone has a say in it because it concerns everybody. So that means everything is a learning opportunity. We learn from each other. We learn from our co-workers, and this is how we then create our culture of learning and our prevention culture. I'm not saying that the traditional OSH approaches are wrong. They are still part of whatever we offer. It is just that we try to bring everyone on board, every worker. So, and it's also a way to discuss safety and health in your companies on a different level. We even have a construction guide for Vision Zero. It's also on our website. I did not put that into my slide, but if you go on our website, visionzero.global, or you just Google Vision Zero, you will also find a construction guide, a guide for small and medium-sized enterprises, and a guide for agriculture, and a guide for mining. This here is our training course. We have now launched a new project. We have teamed up with a training provider. They're called IOSH, and they have the ability to actually accredit occupational safety and health trainers, and now they're also accrediting Vision Zero trainers, which will allow these trainers to then have a better products, better training materials, and they can also use their courses for professional credits that sometimes you need in order to prove that you have done your training and retraining for your qualifications. So this is all being thought of, and there are many different aspects that we are developing currently in the area of training. Some parts are free. For some, IOSH charges a service fee because, of course, there's a lot of administrative work behind it. By now, we have over 1,200 trainers, and they all wanted better materials. So this is what we're trying to achieve. This here, proactive leading indicators, is a benchmarking tool to measure and compare yourself with either data from previous years or with similar companies to see how you actually really perform. It's not a questionnaire, but it provides you with various results all around safety, health, and well-being. My predecessor had earlier mentioned something about the benefits of prevention and that prevention pays. We have done a study which has basically shown that you invest $1, $1, €1, one whatever, into prevention as an entrepreneur, you can have a potential benefit of $2.2 in return. This publication is also available on our website free of charge on issa.int/ROP, return on prevention, ROP. So in case someone is interested in that. You can join us, just like these 15,000 organizations have done. You can visit us on the website, you can join us, you can click on it. There are no strings attached. It is not that you have to have the best safety and health performance. You just join and you work your way up from there with the materials we provide. You can also use the logo. You can organize events with that once you are a partner, and you can discuss various aspects of construction safety also, falls, trips, slips, scaffolding, whatever, and how Vision Zero can be applied there. The guide is now available in 14 languages. I think here are only 9, but we have 14. We have from Arabic to Farsi, to Hindi, to all the major languages, including Japanese and Chinese and Spanish, of course, as well. The OSH trainer guide you've already seen, and there's a growing interest in Vision Zero. There are many, many approaches. I had mentioned that. This is just one slide which shows how many initiatives there actually are. So, let me run through my last slides. I'm conscious of time. So just quickly, this here is the Finnish Institute of Occupational Health, which had launched their own Vision Zero campaign, where they say that this is the only choice we have to really fully reduce all our accidents and bring the accident frequency rate down to hopefully 0. This is Cemento Progreso or Grupo Progreso. Here you see how in 2000 they had actually 14.8 a lost time injury frequency rate of 14.8, and how this over the years reduced. The data stops at 2016, but I can assure you nowadays they're much lower. The CEO is very often part of our panels and has introduced a variety of measures to bring this number down. So like there was an Orange Helmet Day, a campaign where everyone should wear helmets. Then Safe Start is something where you give an initiation to safety and health to the youth, all the young workers who start at your company. Hold It was a campaign where the moment you realize that there's any risk, you just stop the activity, whatever the cost is. A life costs always more. And then Safety Gradient was the last one, and I think that was to measure at which level of health the company, levels of safety the company actually was. And I'm sorry. This here is Thames Water in England. Here you see they have this safety and health counter, 5 days without injury. And you see there is a card called Zero Compromise issued by the CEO to every worker that he meets. He walks through all the production sites that they have, talks to the workers and gives them this card. And with this card, every worker is authorized to also stop any activity immediately. And this shows CEO commitment to safety and health. And they have actually quite a good record. Of course, accidents happen, but they have their counter and everybody's trying to not be the next one who puts the counter back to zero. This here is in Luxembourg, a social security organization who ran a Vision Zero campaign also to reduce the frequency rate. And this is for you, a call for action to join if you want to. Now, coronavirus is of course something that occupies us. These figures that you see here on the slide are the latest from 2 or 3 days ago, which I got from the Johns Hopkins University. And in the context of Vision Zero, it means that Vision Zero is also a goal. Coronavirus, to reduce the infections to zero, is also a goal. And strategies are required, and we all know that many countries are struggling to develop and identify and define the right strategies. So we have set up a corona prevention monitor with probably over 100 good practices, which give advice on how to tackle COVID and the exposure to viruses at the workplace and what can be done. Most of these things are nowadays not new anymore because we've lived with it now for a year. But nonetheless, we have a small little database where we have collected some of these experiences. So zero infection is also a goal. So the zero is very present in my presentation. I hope you have enjoyed it. And I just wanted to let you know that the ISSA is also organizing the World Congress on Safety and Health in Canada. It's a very big event, probably the biggest in the world. And it will be held digitally, but if you're interested in joining, then please visit their website and sign up for that. So with this, I leave you. I should again say, please, if you're interested in Vision Zero, please visit our website, visionzero.global, and there's a wealth of materials that you can download. It's all for free, and a lot of it is available in Spanish. Thank you very much.
Gracias Bernd por la presentación, clarísima, muy completa. Gracias a la Asociación Internacional de Seguridad y Salud por acompañarnos en este congreso. Esperamos poder contar con ustedes de ahora en adelante. Si les comento, si tienen consultas, preguntas, pueden hacerlo a través del chat. Nosotros les hacemos llegar a los expositores y a medida que tenemos oportunidad vamos dándole respuesta a las mismas.